Pentagon just revealed classified specs that have Chinese military leaders in emergency meetings. By the end of this video, you'll understand why China's sixth-generation dream just turned into a nightmare. On March 21st, the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, stood before the cameras and announced history.
At my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first sixth-generation fighter jet. Number sixth generation.
They're calling it the F-47, and behind that name is a secret timeline that's been unfolding for nearly 5 years. A prototype has already been flying in the shadows, tested away from public view, proving itself against every rival fighter in existence. This wasn't an easy contest. Boeing went head-to-head with Lockheed Martin, the very company that gave us the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. But this time, Boeing took the prize. The Air Force chose their revolutionary design, and in doing so, shifted decades of dominance away from Lockheed. The stakes are huge, with a $20 billion-plus contract hanging in the balance. It's the kind of deal that not only secured Boeing's future, but revitalized its struggling defense business. For a company weighed down by tanker setbacks and a bruised commercial sector, this wasn't just a win, it was survival. The F-47 doesn't just break the speed barrier, it obliterates it. With Mach 2+ capabilities, this fighter won't just outrun its opponents, it will leave them in the dust. And guess what? It will do all of that without even being seen. In fact, it's being called Stealth++, a new category of stealth that's light years ahead of what we know today. Trump didn't mince words, he called it virtually unseeable. And when America claims something is invisible, it's not just smoke and mirrors. The F-47 operates across multiple radar spectrums, the ones our adversaries can barely comprehend, let alone detect. Think of a fighter jet so elusive it might as well be a ghost. That's the F-47, a new era of aerial combat where the stealth isn't just a feature, it's the standard. Let's talk distance. The F-47 is not limited by old-school logistics. It comes with a combat radius that exceeds 1,000 nautical miles, meaning it can take off from American soil and fly deep into contested territories without needing to refuel. This is long-range lethality at its finest. While other fighters struggle to keep their combat power within a few hundred miles, the F-47 can strike across vast swaths of enemy airspace, offering extended dominance over battlefields and strategic zones. The F-47 doesn't just pack firepower, it redefines it. Its weapon bays are massive, capable of carrying a range of next-gen munitions designed to devastate anything in its path. We're talking hypersonic missiles that fly at unimaginable speeds, advanced air-to-air weapons that can neutralize any threat before they even know what hit them, and precision ground strikes that leave no margin for error. But here's where it gets even more dangerous. All of this firepower comes without sacrificing stealth. The weaponry is integrated seamlessly into the aircraft's design, concealed in hidden compartments that remain undetectable. This means the F-47 can launch devastating attacks while still remaining completely invisible to enemy radar. It's the ultimate combination of offensive power and defensive invisibility. No more choosing between firepower and stealth. The F-47 delivers both. Now, let's talk about power. The F-47 takes high-speed flight to an entirely new level. This aircraft doesn't just break Mach 2, it's designed for supercruise, a sustained high-speed flight where the engines continue to push the jet faster than any enemy can follow. And get this, it does all of this without the typical afterburner glow or heat signature that would normally give it away. In layman's terms, the jet has no radar detection and leaves no heat trace. This is a fighter that can stay ahead of the curve while never once giving away its position. Think about it. No flashy trails in the sky, no exhaust signs. It's like the F-47 is slipping through dimensions. And if you think that's cutting-edge technology, you're right. It's next-generation aviation, where even speed doesn't have to come at the cost of stealth. The F-47 outpaces its competition while leaving them in the dark. What's invisible to radar is also untouchable in battle. The F-47 is made from materials so advanced, so classified, they're practically the stuff of science fiction. Its advanced composites give it a structure that's not only radar-absorbing, but also incredibly durable in the extreme conditions of future warfare. These materials are lightweight, making the aircraft more agile than any other jet on the planet, yet resilient enough to survive in the most punishing of combat environments. Regardless of whether it's surviving electromagnetic interference, shockwave impacts, or the intense heat of Mach 2 plus flight. This is aircraft engineering that doesn't just think about stealth. The F-47 isn't just built to fly, it's engineered to dominate in the sky, in stealth and in survival. But the F-47 doesn't fly alone. This is where the game changes. Its loyal partners, the YFQ-42A and YFQ-44A. These drones are built for speed, agility, and stealth, with advanced radar systems, long-range sensors, and AI decision-making capabilities that enable them to operate seamlessly alongside the F-47. Each F-47 pilot will command up to 6 autonomous aircraft. This force multiplication creates a massive advantage in the sky. These drones can swarm ahead, feed data, jam enemy systems, and even throw themselves into the line of fire to save the human pilot. China's J-36 deep dive. Meanwhile, Beijing wants the world to believe they're playing catch-up. Enter the J-36, China's bold claim to the 6th-generation fighter throne. It's a sleek, high-tech machine that's supposed to challenge the F-47. But when you peel back the layers, it's clear this is more of a showcase than a game-changer. The J-36's design is an aggressive leap into the future. China's choice of a tailless flying wing configuration screams innovation. The aircraft is diamond-shaped, a nod to stealth with sharp edges meant to cut through the skies. It looks futuristic, but let's not be fooled. The J-36 is built for long-range operations and high survivability in contested environments. However, this design comes with its own set of vulnerabilities. The tailless wing means less control at low speeds and in high maneuverability scenarios. This could be a major issue in dogfights where agility is key. One of the boldest decisions Beijing could have made was to introduce 3 engines. The extra engines provide more thrust, allowing for better speed, maneuverability, and extended range, making it a powerful combat asset. The redundancy of 3 engines also boosts survivability in case of failure, keeping the fighter in the air longer. But there's a price to pay. More engines translate to more heat signatures and larger radar reflections, the very things that stealth technology tries to hide. And with that much additional thrust, you have increased fuel consumption and a system that is much harder to maintain. The reality is that 3 engines don't guarantee better performance, it just increases vulnerabilities. China loves to boast about its stealth capabilities, calling the J-36 invisible to radar. But let's be real, specialists in radar technology aren't impressed. The J-36 may have stealthy design features, but the triple engines and bulkier airframe make it an easy target for advanced detection systems. Unlike America's F-47, which operates with technology that practically disappears from radar, the J-36's larger structure and engines light up like a Christmas tree to the right sensors. Against American radar technology, the J-36 stealth is more of a marketing gimmick than a true advantage. China might talk the talk, but the reality is that their fighter isn't nearly as invisible as they'd like the world to believe. Here's the inconvenient truth that Beijing doesn't want you to hear. China's still struggling with the materials and technologies required to mass-produce a truly reliable stealth fighter. High-end composites needed for stealth coatings are still a bottleneck. The J-36 relies on cutting-edge materials to keep its radar profile small, but China's inability to mass-produce these advanced composites means it could take years longer to get the J-36 out of prototype and into full-scale production. Timeline problems. When China talks about deploying the J-36, they say early 2030s. Realistically, though, if you look at the pace of their military innovation, that timeline is more like 2035. But let's be clear, with the supply chain issues, material shortages, and technological hurdles they're facing, the J-36 could easily slip even further into the future. These delays, they give America's F-47 ample time to dominate and set the pace for air warfare. Head-to-head technical comparison. Speed, the F-47 boasts Mach 2 plus supercruise, allowing it to fly faster than nearly every fighter on the planet, maintaining high speeds without sacrificing stealth. In contrast, the J-36 speed capabilities remain unproven, leaving China's claims to be tested. Advantage America. Stealth. The F-47 Stealth++ technology is virtually invisible across radar spectrums, offering unmatched stealth capabilities for deep penetration missions. The J-36, with its bulky triple-engine layout and larger airframe, compromises stealth, making it easier to detect. Advantage America. Range. With a 1,000-plus nautical mile combat radius, the F-47 can strike at targets far beyond the enemy's reach and stay in combat longer. On the other hand, China's J-36 has a limited range, making it less effective for extended missions or rapid deployments. Advantage America. Weapons. The F-47 integrates next-gen munitions, like hypersonic missiles and advanced precision strikes, with enhanced payload capacity. Meanwhile, the J-36 relies on experimental weapons and a less optimized payload, limiting its combat flexibility. Advantage America. Survivability. The F-47's AI-driven drone wingmen and advanced electronic warfare systems give it unparalleled combat adaptability and survivability in hostile airspace. The J-36, still in early development, lacks these robust systems, relying on theoretical defense measures. Advantage America. On paper, it's clear. The F-47 isn't just superior, it's the future of air warfare. Strategic and psychological impact. This isn't just about hardware. It's a strategy that shifts the balance of power in the Pacific and beyond. The F-47 represents a quantum leap in air combat, rewriting the rulebook of modern warfare. Where traditional thinking relied on one-on-one dogfights, America is now playing a much more advanced game. And it's a game where the F-47 defines the future. For decades, China's strategy in the Pacific has been built on a simple yet powerful idea: keep U.S. forces at arm's length. Through anti-access/area denial, a 2AD strategies, with massive missile shields, island fortresses, and a growing fleet of advanced fighters, China aimed to create a ring of deterrence around its airspace and seas. The goal? To make any U.S. military action in the region too costly and too dangerous. But the F-47 has obliterated that strategy before it even fully materialized. With its extended range, next-level stealth, and ability to command drone swarms, the F-47 turns China's A2AD strategies into a relic of the past. No more relying on missile defense systems to guard the South China Sea or the Taiwan Strait. The F-47 can outpace and outsmart every obstacle that China's built to keep the U.S. at bay. A new era of air dominance is here, and America's at the helm. For America's allies like Japan, South Korea, and Australia, the arrival of the F-47 is more than just a tactical advantage. It's a reassurance that the U.S. commitment to Pacific stability has just been supercharged. These nations, many of whom are directly in China's crosshairs, now know that America's air power is not only superior, but also adapted to the threats of tomorrow. The F-47's capabilities are a guarantee that, should the worst happen, the U.S. will be able to deliver precision strikes, maintain an overwhelming presence, and neutralize threats from the first moment the crisis begins. For them, it's a powerful psychological shield, knowing they don't stand alone and that their ally is armed with technology that eclipses anything their adversaries have. It's more than just a military asset. It's a force multiplier for diplomatic and strategic alliances across the region. The F-47 ensures that U.S. allies won't be overrun, and it sends a clear message that America's commitment to the Pacific remains unbreakable. For China, Russia, or anyone considering challenging U.S. air superiority, the F-47 brings dread, plain and simple. The psychological warfare it wields is just as lethal as its payload. Imagine for a moment, your entire fleet is built on the idea that you can control the skies, that your stealth technology, long-range missiles, and anti-access strategies are sufficient to deter U.S. forces. Then the F-47 enters the picture, and it flies deeper, strikes harder, and makes a mockery of every defense you've spent years perfecting. The F-47 renders the J-36 obsolete before it even sees the battlefield. Every adversary now knows, no matter how advanced their technology, they are playing catch-up. The mental edge shifts dramatically in favor of the U.S. The thought alone that their stealth fleet is second-rate, that their countermeasures and defenses won't be enough, causes hesitation. When a potential adversary knows they're up against the best, the chances of conflict drop drastically. Wars don't begin when the enemy is terrified of losing. They're avoided altogether. And the F-47 is a powerful deterrent against anyone thinking they can challenge American dominance. The F-47 isn't just about one-on-one engagements in the sky. It's about dominating the battle space and revolutionizing how air forces engage in warfare. The F-47's ability to command swarms of drones, gather real-time battlefield data, and strike deep into hostile territory doesn't just make it the best in the sky. It makes it the backbone of the next era of combat. A networked system of manned and unmanned forces, all working in harmony, is no longer science fiction. It's a reality that will outpace adversaries in every theater of operation. The psychological impact is more than just having better technology. It's about leading the charge into a new era of warfare, where the U.S. is untouchable and the balance of power swings decisively in America's favor. The United States didn't just build a better fighter, we built the future of air warfare. The F-47 is more than a jet, it's a message. America leads, the world follows. And those who challenge that order do so at their own peril. So if you believe in American air dominance, in the strength that keeps wars from ever beginning, stand with us because the skies belong to freedom.